Here we go, David Banner. Welcome back.
What's happening? Yes, sir.
Man, we had an epic one last time.
We did?
We did. That last interview, I mean, you saw what happened.
Yeah, I'm poking with you.
Congrats, man. You know,
Thank you.
we're the OGs in this game right now, still going strong. I mean, that says a lot.
Yeah, I have a tendency not to believe that. I don't like the word OG because they only do that in rap. The Rolling Stones are about to die tomorrow, and they're just now considered OGs. People use the OG thing so you feel like it's time for you to retire. Like I ain't doing no reunion concerts. I ain't doing no throwback. You know, if you listen to the God Box, I'm fresher than I'm fresher than a newborn baby. You feel me? I don't play them type of pimp mind games. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, we're not OGs. We just been able to dock numbers. And, you know, I even hate this as it pertains to anything that black people do in general. It's like, you know, a criticism that I have with basketball is that, you know, people want to give somebody OG or elite status, you know, at the beginning of their career, you know, and what it does is it degrades the culture in general. It takes a lifetime to me, you know, to be an OG. It takes, you know, 50, 60 years. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, you know, rap is still relatively young itself. Rap is still not a whole person's lifetime yet. So quit with that OG shit. Like, I mean, people in general, like, ain't none of us OGs. We babies in the game as it pertains to culture and something that I believe that will hopefully be here and stand the test of time. You know, I don't need no crutches. I don't need no extra names, just Young Banner, I guess. Or Old Banner, or whatever the fuck you want to call me. Just call me fresh and don't call me broke.
I feel you, man. It's just that in this game of music and hip hop in particular, the lifespan is not that long for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Like 3 to 5 years, people come and go. So the fact that you see people like you, like me, that have been doing it for 10 plus years, 15, you know, I just counted the other day, I've been in the game 15 years full time. And you don't see that all the time.
Yeah, it's funny, man, especially as it pertains to Southerners. I tell people, you know, a lot of us, we retired by the time we got on. You know, I watch some of the people I look up to, they were talking about retiring before they were 30. You know what I'm saying? I was like, dude, by the time I signed my first deal, well, not my first one because that was penalty, but by the time I signed a deal that people know me for, the SRC deal, we had put together, you know, 3 full albums and 3, 4, 5 mixtapes. You know, by the time we get to the starting line, we have in a lot of cases a catalog that can rival people who say that they're retiring. You know, I just think that we have to, in some kind of way, change the culture. And I'm going to tell you something, Vlad, and I mean this. And I'm saying this to all artists in the world, no matter what color you are, no matter what you do. Don't allow these capitalists to make you feel like you have to compete with someone that you see on television or somebody that's popping online. Because in most cases, these children, or we want to be them, when you don't know what they've done, or what they have sacrificed, or how many people they're signed to, or whether that's their spirit, whether that's their mind, whether that's their money. If you are able to maintain your life, your livelihood, and take care of your monthly bills and your family, whether you're drawing, whether you're begging for money on the corner, whether you rapping, you are winning. Don't allow someone else to define for you what success is. A lot of these rappers, when they're not able to match the sales of somebody else, you know, their spirits get broken and they believe that someone doesn't care about them. Man, think about what our grandparents had to do. And I'm speaking about my grandparents in general. all the stuff that most of us do is shit that our grandparents would say were playing. You know, the fact that I can get in front of somebody and talk. The fact that you all can film somebody and make money off of it. Whether you getting paid $5 an hour, I tell my staff that one time. I remember we were doing something for Gatorade. And one of my staff members got mad because we had to do it 12 times. So we get paid fucking 6 figures. I don't give a fuck if we do this bitch 1,000,000 times. The fucking money is there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're doing dream shit and complaining about it. You know, it's for me, it's amazing for me to, you know, the fact that someone wants to you spent money for people to come and listen to me talk or film me talking. I'm just fucking talking. That's it. That's a blessing. And if we don't start understanding, especially as it pertains to hip hop, the blessing that we have. I mean, when I was at my worst, I used to tell all my homeboys, don't come to my concerts fighting and shit. Don't come to my concerts with that bullshit. Like, we have a fucking blessing. And I believe as a whole, hip hop, we did not take care of this blessing. Think about this. Think about this. Internationally, and rappers try to separate themselves from other rappers. No, rap is rap. I don't care if it's hip hop, gangster rap, trap, whatever you call it. It's all one. Whether you want to call it rap or hip hop, it's fucking up to you. But think about this. I would say about 7 years ago, hip hop really, really had power globally. Maybe let's say 10 years ago. And out of all of this power that we accumulated, what do you think we did with it? We sold somebody else's clothes and somebody else's alcohol and put our name on it. We had the opportunity to change the world globally. You know, and that's part of my responsibility. I'm not pointing at other rappers. I'm talking about me. You know, we had a real opportunity. I remember, I never told anybody this before. I remember when, you know, Obama was when he first became president, and I was looking at, you know, the type of music that I was doing at such a point where I saw a shift. Whether I agree with Obama or not, there was a shift in black culture when he became president. And I looked at hip hop, and I especially looked at myself and said, like, where am I in the grand scheme of things? And think about this, Vlad. Think about this even with your show. Bro, regardless of what you do, regardless of what kind of music I make, bro, your ass is gonna die. I'm gonna die. This shit that we doing right now is gonna be left on this earth. And I say, I don't give a fuck. I am not gonna leave this earth, and in 300 years, the only thing somebody know about me is gonna play with it, or like a fucking pimp. We have a responsibility, not only to the fucking culture, but to our families and our fucking family names to go down in history with something that matters. And if you really think about it, historically, when people are looked at, people always gonna look at the art first. Whether it's the type of paintings they were doing at the time, the music, the writing, the scope of a generation or a scope of time is always judged by music. And that's one of the reasons why I think they push all of this negative music as it pertains to black people. So when white supremacy decides to do whatever it's gonna do to our people, like I watched them pull out them tanks in Ferguson, and they don't do that to any other group of people, where the policemen pull out fucking tanks. I don't care if you out in Vegas and they got sniper rifles, young white men got sniper rifles. The federal government didn't pull out fucking tanks. I believe it will be justified by the type of art that is out right now during this period. And I think that's important for us to think about, all of us who do something that's called art. And the other thing is all the people who have and make art and make money based off of the backs of black culture. We're gonna have to start calling these people and say, what are you doing to give back to black culture? People take, like I watch all of these people, they wanna videotape black folks when stuff is popping, but as soon as we need cameras and eyes to protect us, these same people and these same sites, these same people who make money off of black culture never then turn around and use their cameras, use their pen. In most cases, there are exceptions to give back and protect the culture too. So I think that's important, Vlad.
I agree. I mean, because we get a fair amount of criticism for the type of stuff that we do, but I don't think a lot of people see, for example, the interviews we do with like the Central Park Five to tell the story of the two kids who two of the Central Park Five who went to jail for nothing, and how Trump started a media frenzy calling for the death penalty, when they didn't do anything, and they did 7 years, or
And then once they found out that they didn't do nothing for sure, they still didn't come back and right the wrongs. Or and I say that about people all the time. Have you ever noticed when people talk bad about you and then they find out you're not the way that they thought you were, all they do is shut up? They don't come back and give back what they took away. And that's to me in general, that is white supremacy. When you don't have to do any other things or account for or say that anything matters or to say it's not that bad. Racism isn't that bad. The situation with police is not that bad. That's like me saying, hey ladies, pregnancy isn't that bad. How the fuck would I know? But I think what happens though, Vlad, is that those of us who truly want to push culture forward, it is our responsibility to push harder. Like, I know me having the God box. People told me this is too space age for people right now. Nobody's gonna react to that shit. This is college level work. Most people are doing music on the 4th grade level. That was a lie. But that meant that I had to work harder, that I had to make stuff that nobody had ever made before. That I was going to have to spend more money, that I was going to have to sacrifice. And I believe as a black man, that is my responsibility. I don't expect kudos. It's like a lot of people think because I honestly believe I have one of the best albums in hip hop history. I will put the God box against any album that has ever came out that was under the genre of rap. And, but regardless of how it reacts, I don't deserve no fucking pat on the back. I'm supposed to fucking be great. If you're putting out consumer products and you say that you are professional, then you're supposed to be fucking great. But I just think sometimes as it pertains to the stuff that we do, Vlad, you know the state that America is in right now. You know what these kids are up against. You know that there are limited resources. So I believe those of us who say we OGs, it is our responsibility, if we are that, to teach and to push harder and to market harder. I give you an example. I am doing a secret project right now that I'm really not supposed to be talking about. But I modeled this project after The Matrix. If you remember when The Matrix came out, wasn't nobody talking about the pill. Wasn't nobody talking about how fucking deep it was. People were talking about the new martial arts that they were using, the new camera angles that's old as fuck now. You know what I'm saying? It was the excitement, but they knew what they had put into it. So I'm doing a project right now that has a whole bunch of information in it, but it's so violent. It's written so fucking well. It's so exciting. Got so many explosions that by the time people get over that, they be like, damn, I think David better trick me. I learned something. And I think we all have to do that, Vlad, because one thing that I know about you, and you know how long that I've been knowing you, you know what I'm saying? Bro, you know how to make money now. You are established now. There's nothing nobody can do about that, whether they like you or not. It's the same with me. So since we know how to make money, like even with my movies, the movies and stuff that I put out, as long as I don't lose money, I don't give a fuck, because that is my responsibility. I have to give something back to the culture. And you know how when people tell you in some religion that you're supposed to tithe? Tithing ain't given to no damn church. You tithe by giving back to the people, directly giving back to the people. And if that means some of your fame, some of your brand, any of that, that's just what we got to do.